Hello all, welcome to our Chalk Talk with Tony. I'm your host, Tmzoids, also known as Tony, and today we have special guest of RiddleMeister, also known as Brian. How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Good.
I heard you took a nap before this. I'm jealous.
Napping is like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, definitely did take a nap.
Is that your favorite activity of all time?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that I like doing more than napping, and I can't think of anything currently.
No. I mean,
So
napping's great. Na-
there is a good chance that it is my favorite activity to do.
Most of the time, I feel like kids don't want to take a nap, and then we don't. We take that for granted. And now we're older, and we're like, we need at least 2 naps a day.
To two. Oh yeah, at least up to five.
Oh man, people are like, oh, they're talking about naps. This is gonna be good. I'm telling you. But no,
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do right after this too. I'm gonna go back to bed.
there you go. So you guys, everybody, if you're watching this, you can join them in nap time. You can listen to our soothing voices, a little
Yes.
ASMR as you pass out.
Oh, hey there, baby. No, kid.
Oh god. Back on track though.
Yep.
Usually the typical first question, as always, these episodes is, how did you get your username, RiddleMeister?
It's based off my last name. Everyone used to pronounce my last name Riddle, so it just kind of stuck with me. So I kept the Riddle there, and then growing up, one of my favorite like movies, those like claymation holiday movies, like Rudolph's one of them, The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, there's one, I think it's the Santa Claus is Coming to Town one. There's a scene where there's the Meister Burger, and it killed me every like as a kid, killed me. And so with everyone always mispronouncing my last name as Riddle, and then I was watching that movie one day, and this is like I'm 10, I think, or 11, something like my very first like username ever on a gaming system. It was like Starcraft or something. I don't know. Was RiddleMeister, and
Dang.
so I kept it.
That's a long time. I figured, you change it up by now. This is it
I've
actually works out.
Yeah, from like the original 360 or like Xbox days, like it was always RiddleMeister. There was one name I had before it, which was BW Riddler, which still had the riddle in it. And then yeah, the Meister just kind of stuck with it. So
So it's basically your last name. We're not going to say
yep,
your last name, but it's basically based off your
right.
last name. It has nothing to do with Batman. Because when I first saw your name, I was thinking like the Riddler from like Batman, the
So
fucking
that's what everyone
evil
always
guy.
says. And they're always like, oh, tell me a riddle, tell me a riddle. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Um, Me say a riddle, that's funny. But no, I mean, my favorite Batman like villain is the Joker anyway. Well, actually, I'd say Harley Quinn, but um, yeah, the psychologically, you know, crazy ones. Um, but yeah, no, definitely not the Riddler. It's always just my last name, and then it just kind of stuck. So
Very interesting. I did not know that. I really thought it was off of Batman or he liked riddles, and I was like, this guy's never said a riddle the whole time.
nope, no, yeah, I don't think I'll ever like have a riddle off the top of my head either. Everyone always asks me for one, and I'm like, I should just have one ready, and I never do for like 5 years of
You
being
should
asked it now.
just get a book off of Amazon and have it on your desk,
Oh,
and they're like, okay, you want a
you're right.
riddle?
I should. That's so smart.
There you go. Your
Ugh,
next thing.
whatever.
You could do the channel points or a few
Oh my
bits,
god, I know. Say a riddle. Ugh, dang it. Okay, I'll have to do that now.
Everybody's like,
That's
yeah.
smart. Me just immediately goes on Amazon right now. Time to get it.
But starting while you were younger, you said you had this username for a long time. It sounds like you were in
Yep.
gaming for a long time.
Yep.
When did it all start? How did you get into gaming?
The first game I remember playing is kind of cliche. It's Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Um, Growing up, my mom had a daycare that she did out of the house, And so like in the basement, it was like our finished basement where like the kids like could play and stuff. And we had a TV down there, and we had the Super Nintendo. I think there was like the OG PlayStation was down there too. Oh, actually, one of the other PlayStation games I loved, off topic, was it was like a Rugrats game, and it was like Rugrats to Search for Reptar. I think that's what it was. Great game. Oh my god! If I find like a emulator of that or something, or a port, I'm gonna play that later. Um, but yeah, it was just like the OG, Super Nintendo games. That's where I found my favorite game of all time, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Um, and from there, it just kind of I just kept, always played Super Nintendo, and it just kept going from there. My first computer game that I remember playing outside of like The Sims and stuff was like Starcraft. I played it all the time, the original Starcraft. Um, I was never like a, Command and Conquer, Age of Empires type of guy back in the day, like everyone else always is. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. I couldn't tell you how old I was. It just kind of happened. It was, I was single digits when I was first playing games, and it just never went away.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah,
So it sounds like your family. This is always an interesting question because it's usually either they love it or they hate it. Sounds like your families did not like hate video games. I know there's some families that are like they're the devil. You cannot play
right.
that in my house.
No, my,
Um,
my 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 parents were fine with it. Growing up, I mean, I had grown up, I had the PlayStation, the N64, the Super Nintendo from the daycare originally that I still have it. It's in the closet. Um, GameCube, PS2. Then I skipped the Xbox OG. Then I got a 360. So I've always had a bunch of different consoles and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I remember playing like NCAA football on the GameCube with my dad, and like Need for Speed and stuff on the GameCube, Medal of Honor. So it was definitely, they weren't like, yeah, gaming is the best, and but they were just like, hey, if we have some time, let's play some games together, I guess. Um, but they would limit me for sure. Like they would be like, okay, 2 hours, and then you have to get off, and I'm like, oh, I wanna. So any time I could like take advantage of that, I definitely would.
there you go. That was actually going to be my follow up question. If you actually played with any of your family members, your mom or dad, or any
Yeah,
siblings,
dad
or
dad definitely did. Definitely did. We had like a little game room that we ended up doing, like our spare bedroom. We turned it into a game room to play together and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, not mom really, not my sister. That's it for the immediate family growing up. So I tried to play with the dog as a kid, didn't really work out that well. So um, you
usually the
know,
dog likes
sh-
to go outside and play, but I guess video
Yeah,
games
no,
could.
I was like, hey, girl, can you use your paws and like press the button here? She was really confused, so it didn't really work out. I see those ones, and she was a husky too, and like you see those TikToks of the husky like pressing the button that's like food, food, play, and I'm like, damn, mine was not a smart one.
I think that takes a lot of training. I don't think it has anything to do with being
Listen,
smart.
listen, okay.
Starting with a video game controller was probably too advanced. Maybe one button would have been a little bit better.
you know, if she could have just like hit all the buttons, like button mashed it, it would have been fine. That's all I needed.
So you play Super Nintendo. It doesn't sound like you had a Sega by any means. I could be wrong.
I did not have Sega. I knew people like in my neighborhood that did. But even then, like I didn't play it that much. I know there was one. What's the one that had like the controller with like the little screen in it or whatever?
Oh,
I think
I
it was
know
the
what you're talking about.
Genesis,
I
right? Was
think
that the
it's
Genesis? I don't
Genesis.
remember.
That was
But
before its time. Because now, if you think about it, you have the Switch now that does that pretty
I
much.
know literally we've come full circle. But there was like a tennis game that I played a couple times on whatever that it was like a white controller with anyway. Um, but yeah, no, my first console definitely was the Super Nintendo.
So I guess the first controversial opinion here would be Mario or Sonic.
Mario.
Not even hesitation, just like, you know what?
Not no hesitation. I could not honestly tell you if I've played a full Sonic game in my life.
Oh my god. I remember playing Sonic on the GameCube. and collecting little chibi things, and you gotta have
Yeah,
the
I'm
eggs.
pretty
And
sure I've played a Sonic game. I don't think I've see even that. Like I'm like, have I? I've definitely never completed a Sonic game.
that is interesting. I'm sure somebody's gonna be yelling at you. You gotta play a Sonic game now.
That's
Which one?
fine. That's fine. That's fine. Even Zelda, like I'll admit, like there's only a handful of them that I've played.
I mean, that's more than me. So
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Good.
I know some people are big Zelda fans. Some people Final Fantasy. Any Final Fantasy games?
I played the first Final Fantasy game ever that I've played. It was the what is it the X remake,
Hmm.
FFX remake, the remaster or the 7 remaster, whatever. I played that literally like 2 years ago for the first time. Um, Outside of that, I mean, the only Final Fantasy knowledge that I had was Kingdom Hearts.
Makes sense. I think that goes for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that's the intro to a lot of like that style or like whatever, like and that's even completely different too, which is fun. But I don't know. Yeah, I never did the Final Fantasy. I'm like a fake gamer. I feel like sometimes where like I haven't played a lot of the major game, like Resident Evil.
Hmm.
Didn't play it. I got it. Never played it. Um, yeah, there's like so many like popular games that I just never did.
That's fine. I mean, to be fair, I think I've only played Kingdom Hearts, maybe a Final Fantasy game somewhere in
Right.
there. I don't. But so you're not a big Final Fantasy fan, but do you have a favorite Final Fantasy character?
Is he even a Final Fantasy character? What's the guy with the Blitzball? Waka?
I
Isn't it? See, he's from Kingdom Hearts. So like, I don't even know if he's actually a Final Fantasy character or not. I think so, but I
so
literally have no idea.
so many
I
people are
couldn't
gonna
even
be.
name another character.
You don't know Vivi the Mage?
Who?
That's Vivi or Vivi? Is it Vivi? Yeah, Vivi. Now you got me messed up. It's the little mage with the little hat.
Sephiroth. Is that someone?
Yeah,
Sephiroth? Oh,
Sephiroth is one.
sure. That's the only name I know.
Sora. I think Sora is actually one of the main characters, but
I don't even know. I know Sora's Kingdom Hearts. I just didn't know if he was actually in
Cloud. I
Final
think Cloud
Fantasy.
is in there too, or maybe that's Sephiroth.
That sounds about right. Cloud. I don't know. Again, no idea, man.
Oh
No clue.
my god, we're making so many people mad. They're like, "You're not a real gamer."
Whoever was the main character of the remake that I played 2 years ago, that one. It's my favorite. I like that guy. I
Oh god, you're gonna be
think
playing
it
a lot
starts
of
with an
games.
S, maybe.
It has to be
Or
Sephiroth
it's
then.
yeah, totally. No, he's a villain, isn't he?
No, it has to be something.
FFX remake.
The actual live. Oh,
Yeah, it is. It was the remake. Okay. Remake PC. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna figure it out. Final Fantasy X X2 HD remaster. Yeah, who's the cast?
you're gonna just get the voice actors, I'm sure, who played the
That's
people.
fine.
What?
All overdrive of the main characters. Here we go. Lulu, Yuna, Kamari. Oh, Kamari's cool. Aron, he's badass. Riku, I forgot Riku's in that. Waka. Waka
See,
is
Waka,
there.
there you go. There you go. You say
Titus, that's his name. Titus. Yeah,
that
we like
did
Titus
not
here.
start with an
Titus and
S.
Waka.
That didn't start with
We're a
an S
Titus
at
and
all.
Waka fan.
Fair enough. The Waka will probably save you. Like I say, I go with the mage. I think it's Vivi. But anyway, besides the point, back, trying to backtrack a little bit. So you went from the old Nintendo. It sounded like you had a PlayStation. So you're more. Didn't sound like you had an allegiance. Are you more of a PlayStation fan? Are you more an Xbox fan?
um, like I said, I had the PS1, the OG PlayStation, and then I had a PS2, and then I got a 360,
Hmm.
and then I got like so I didn't have the OG Xbox. I never had a PS3, like anything after the PS2. Um, I guess for a while I was an Xbox like fanboy, but I think that also comes down to the fact of like Halo was big, for a while when growing up. Call
Hmm.
of Duty was always on Xbox early, so like I always did that growing up. Um, Stuff like that, like and they're like the exclusives for PlayStation were never like as booming as they have been the past 5 to 8 years or so, give or take, 5 to 10 years. And so I never like I would love to get a console again right now. And if I did, I would get a PlayStation 5. Um, because as a PC primary now, like there's no need to have an Xbox because it's literally just the same thing. It's Microsoft. So yeah, no, I think console wars is just a goofy, dumb, silly little thing. Um, like just make it all crossplay and deal with it.
One day we can only hope
I
everybody
know,
will
like,
become
come
together.
on, like I can play my PC with with Rocket League players on play or whatever. Like, come on, just make it all crossplay. Let's go. Oh my god,
So
Fortnite, I can play with people on their phones. Maybe not, but
I
like,
think
come
you
on.
could. I believe you could. One year they had a deal with
Yeah,
Samsung, and you had to download Fortnite with the. Is it the S20 or S19? One of them. They had
yeah.
the
I
Fortnite deal.
remember I know we're getting sidetracked again. I was in an airport once and I was watching these two kids and they were playing Fortnite on their phone and they were crushing it. And I'm like, how how look, I've played phone games like shooters, and I can't. How are you doing this? It was insane.
Yeah,
But
the kids are with technology these days. They could probably blow us out of the water. Let's be
dude,
honest.
props to them. I can't do shooters on my phone. That's crazy, but good for them.
But going back to the consoles, did you have a favorite game? You said Halo, but is there like an all-time game that you remember? It doesn't matter if it's PlayStation or Xbox. Is there a game that you remember that you're besides the Rugrats? Is there a
Yeah,
game?
I mean, no, it was like I could give you like my top 3 favorite games of all time ever. Um, and it's number 1, like I said, Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. I'm trying to think of the most appropriate way to say like creaming my pants when they remade it for Switch finally. And they did it for the Wii, but like fuck the Wii sucks. Excuse my language. Um but they finally redid it for the Switch and I was like finally, I've been waiting 20 years for this. Um Skyrim, big Skyrim, big Elder Scrolls guy. Oblivion was great, but Skyrim was better. Um and then number 3 switches it up, and I go to Civilization, like strategy game. Just
Really?
the whole Civ series.
I did not
Uh,
expect that, but
yeah, started with Civ 4, and then Civ 5, 6, 6, whatever. But yeah, I love Civ. I love Civ. I've got like thousands of hours in Civ.
hmm. Well, going back to Skyrim really quick, I remember
Yep.
when it first came out, and Toys R Us was still around, believe it or not.
Oh,
Yes.
I think there's like, isn't like one back? Didn't one Toys R Us come
I
back?
believe there's still one running or operating
Yeah.
somewhere in the
I like
world.
saw something like they like reopened a store, and I was like, holy shit, the world's healing.
But I definitely remember everybody. They had hundreds of, like, that was the first time, people talk about WoW and, people like dying playing WoW and not using the bathroom, not eating. But I remember when Skyrim came out, everybody's like, I have 7,000 hours in it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it blew my mind. I was like, I have to get this game. And then I got the game,
uh
and then
yeah,
it's
the summer it came out, I put a easy 500 hour, maybe not like just the summer, but yeah, there is an easy multiple hundred hours in that game over the summer.
there you go.
um I was living on my college campus at the time over the summer, and I'm almost positive, when did Skyrim come out?
Oh
I always have to.
God,
I'm
this is
a
you're gonna age
2011.
yourself here. Yeah,
I'm a
Jesus.
notorious Googler. I will Google everything. I get yelled at for it all the time because they're always like, "You're just trying to prove yourself right," and I'm like, "No, I'm just like a psychopath, and I need to know the answer to things, even if I'm like, November 2011. So that next year, 2012, I was living on campus over the summer,
Hmm.
and I had already sunk a good amount of time into the game, obviously, but I went to a small school that had like 1,000 kids, so over the summer 10 of us were living on campus, maybe 15. um and because of that, not a lot of things to do or to people to hang out with. And so it was like, do my on-campus job, working summer events, and then go back to my dorm and crush Skyrim for the next 6 hours, then go to bed. And that was like that for like, 3 months straight. So yeah, there was a lot of hours that got put in that game during that summer.
Makes sense. I mean, like I said, it was a great game, and as you can see, plenty different tons of mods, and they remake it. I feel like
Yeah.
every year now, it seems like
I
Skyrim's remade, Skyrim remastered.
I am a horrible, horrible person, but I've bought Skyrim like 5 times.
Why? Is there?
Well, I got it originally on 360, and then they released the Xbox One version or whatever the next Xbox was, and then I got my first PC, so I got it on PC,
Mhm.
and then they released the Game of the Year like PC edition one that had all the DLCs in it. So then I got that one because my old PC, like, and then I got a new PC, and then and yeah, and now it's whatever the version is right now that I have on Steam, is probably like the one, like the most recent, yeah.
I mean,
I just
hey,
you
it's
know
supporting the creator, I guess. One way.
yeah, 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 Bethesda definitely needs more money for
It
sure.
definitely needs all your money.
Yeah, for sure. Bethesda, known for having great games at release, definitely needs more money. And being purchased by Activision or whoever the hell, Microsoft, yeah,
Yeah,
needs more money for sure.
yeah, they're starter companies, so they need all the money they can get, and eventually they'll make good games, and
I
you
know,
know.
right, man? Oh, it'd be a shame if they could release a game that's good at launch. Whew.
So transitioning a little bit, did you
Yep,
have well, back to the consoles real quick. Did you play with friends? Did you do the screen thing, or you
I did.
were a solo kind of guy?
I did the split screen. There's one Star Wars game that I cannot remember off the top of my head what the name of it was, but it had like this like mode where like you're like in the speeder or like the whatever, and you had to like shoot the droids as they came at you, the
Hmm.
battle droids, and it was like rounds and waves of it. And me and my buddy growing up, we would just sink hours into, like, we'd go hang out and just do that, like like try to get as many rounds as possible. We would go crazy. But yeah, certain games, Gauntlet Dark Legacy for GameCube. Ooh, great game. Great game for friends. Also, the arcade game. I'd go to the bowling alley and play it too. Oh my God, so much fun. Um, but yeah, so it depends on the game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, not every game is two players or split screen,
Yeah,
so that
but
Gauntlet. You spent money at the arcade to play Gauntlet when you
bro,
had it at home?
absolutely I did. I had a save file. I wrote down like the code for it all the time. I'd go back like next week and play it
What?
again. Then I'd go bowl. My mom was in a bowling league growing up, so I was at the bowling alley a lot. Um, and so if I wasn't able to like bowl because the league like sometimes they'd have an empty lane or something that night, so they would let us bowl for like a discount.
Yeah.
um the other kids that were there, like the other children, um I would just go to the arcade and I would just rip Gauntlet in the Simpsons game or whatever, where you could like hit people with your scooter as Bart or whatever it was. Like, I crushed those games, man. Those were so much fun.
But if you had it at home, why are you spending money at the arcade? I just
Well,
went.
because like
I get it. I get it. It's not. It's a different feeling. I understand.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sports real quick. You said your mom bowled. Did you get into
Yeah,
bowling at all, or did you do a different
I
sport?
do
Or
enjoy bowling. I do enjoy bowling. I was decent at it, but I was never like good. Um, I played soccer growing up. I played baseball for 2 years. I played hockey for 2 years. I played basketball for a year. Uh, I stuck with soccer for like 10 years, give or take. Then I grew too fast, and I know it sounds stupid, but then I got Osgood Schlatter's in my knee, which is like the tendon stretched out too much, and I couldn't run that well and like maneuver for a while because like the tendons are all fucked up, and so I basically just stopped playing soccer, and I snowboarded. I still do, but I don't really go that often. I think the last time I went snowboarding was like 5 years ago. I sold my snowboard when I moved to California, so it kind of worked out. But I want to take up surfing soon. I want to try it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I didn't know that was a thing that you could grow too fast in your tendons. Just like you're
Yeah,
gonna grow
neither
it.
did I until I was like, why do my legs hurt? Why do my knees hurt like really bad as like a 15-year-old, whatever. And then we got x-rays on him and they're like, oh yeah, you have Osgood Schlatter's. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, Osgood Schlatter's. You had a growth spurt and the tendon like attached to your kneecap or whatever, like stretched out, then like showed me it. And I was like, ew, but also ouch. So now I can like crack my knees. Like, you know how people can like crack their knuckles? I can crack my knees.
Oh God. So did you need like surgery or does it just heal on
No,
its
it was
own
just kind of
or
like a grow out of it thing. But because I was a little dummy as a kid, and I kept like snowboarding and like doing activities and stuff, like I would hurt my legs a lot.
oh,
And so I didn't gr- like it didn't give it time to like just grow into it as much as it could have.
s-
Um,
so you damaged it is what you're telling me.
Kinda, yeah. So like my knees are like pretty bad. They're probably gonna get like super arthritic as I get older.
Oh God.
Because even now, like sitting on planes and stuff, like I know everyone's always like, oh, like you're like there's no logo, but like if I'm sitting like a tight spot for like too long, like oh, I try to move or like start moving afterward, and I'm like I'll stand up and my leg, like my knee will give out real quick, and I'm like, yay, I'm 30. This is great.
Oh God.
And I've been cracking my knees for 20 years or 10 years, 15 years already. Awesome.
Not good. Not
Yeah.
good.
But
Well,
hey, whatever.
stay positive. Maybe there's a chance that maybe it just will be a little sore and that's just how it will
Right.
be. And
Yeah,
maybe as you get older and you shrink, it'll all like shrink into
exactly. It
place.
goes it goes back to normal again.
Yeah.
Love it. That's a great mindset. I like that mindset for sure.
But back back to video games though. People are like, what the hell? Old ass people on here. He's talking about the kids
Ah,
on
these
their
boomers.
yeah, these boomers. He's talking about the kids on their cell phones playing Fortnite. Can't even fucking do that anymore. He's not
Get
a
this guy a
gamer.
get this guy a walker. Go back to bed, Grandpa. Go take a nap.
Oh God. Hey, we
Dang it.
grew up with the internet. It's fine. We're the
Exactly.
we're the gate
We're cool grandpas and cool uncles and
we're we're the gatekeepers. Okay, we made you. Okay, we were,
exactly.
oh
We had to grab our walkers so you guys can run on your gone flabbit VR headsets or whatever you got these days.
oh man.
I would cry.
But the transition from console games to computer games is it? Did
Yep.
you have a computer? Did you just
Uh
is it
I had
school
like
or
a shitty little Dell, growing up, like just like the generic like my parents bought it at like Walmart or something or Staples. So it ran The Sims, but it also sounded like it was a rocket ship taking off. Um so I'd be playing The Sims, Sims 1, so Bella Goth would be coming over and I'd be like, sup girl? And then and I'm like, oh god, my computer. And then it would crash and I'd be like, oh. But then they got a little bit better one, like the family computer. So I was playing like a couple like MMOs. I never got into like Warcraft or anything like that, like World of Warcraft. But like I said, I played Starcraft a lot. I played this game called Eternal Lands. Consumed my life for the longest time. It was like a 3D upgraded graphics version of RuneScape. Basically, like you could like mine for stuff and fish, and you could fight and like gain level. Um, Consumed me for years and years. And then I feel like I never had like a good computer. So like I could never run any like the good cool game like Guild Wars, when that came out. Couldn't run it.
mm-hmm.
And so it never really like was like a thing for me like PC gaming other than like, the like StarCraft and the Eternal Lands, stuff like that. And then um so I was always like a big console guy. So it wasn't until college where I finally got like my first gaming computer. And that's because all my friends also had gaming computers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like the last one to get one, and we were all playing like Dota and stuff. But I had like this like laptop, and then finally, I think it was my sophomore year. or junior year. I think it was sophomore year. My laptop fried, and at that point, I was like working on like a big like 15-page paper too. My laptop fried, and I took it, and they're like, nope, we can't get like it's dead. Like like there's we
Oh
can't save it.
God.
You fried the inside of your computer, and I was like, sick, cool, it melted. Um, and so instead of just getting like another laptop or whatever, I would just like pull the trigger and just got um, a pre-built like iBuyPower PC, and that was the first one, you know. And I was like, this is it, I got it finally. I got my gaming computer, and I went home and I finished my paper, and I got like a 98 on it, or like it was the highest grade of the class, and I was like, fuck yeah, I remembered most of it. Um, but yeah, that was it. And then we played a lot of Dota that year, a lot of Dota 2. That was like the reason I got like PC, because we're all playing Dota in college. So good times, good times.
So a few questions. One,
Yep.
I'm sure some people are gonna be curious. What did you go to school for, if you don't mind sharing?
Started for criminal justice. Um, no, started for forensic psychology. That was the first thing. I wanted to do forensics. I loved forensics in school, in high school. I did like the blood work analysis and like, you know, all that stuff. Um, but I hated chemistry, and then I started realizing that I probably needed some sort of chemistry knowledge for forensics, maybe a little bit.
A little bit,
Uh,
probably a little bit, but nothing
yeah,
crazy. Nothing.
yeah, nothing crazy, just a little bit. And I dropped forensics in high school, so I never took it. So, but I mean, I dropped chemistry in high school. I took forensics A and B. Anywho, the forensics programs in the Northeast, there was a really good one, but the campus like felt like a prison. Like it was like literally skinny concrete hallways. I know I'm getting sidetracked with it. So I ended up going for forensic psychology. That was my first year major. I didn't I enjoyed it, but my big thing was hated absolutely hated that four people could have like contradicting views on a scientific approach to something, like, you know, scientific psychology, scientific approach. They're all contradicting, but they're all correct.
Interesting.
And I was like, hold up, hold up. So like Bob over here, Dr. Bob's theory and Dr. Sandra's theory contradict each other, but it just depends on like which one you like. But then a third Doctor Man, you know, comes in here and is like, hey, what about this idea? And then Dr. Jill comes in and is like, let's expand on that a little bit more. But like they're all correct depending on like the theory that you like. And I was just like, no, one of them has to be wrong. Someone has to be wrong here. You can't. So then I switched into marketing, and I switched into business, and I did marketing management. And it seems pretty straightforward, you know, marketing. And you know, if you do this, it's good. If you do this, that's bad. That's not ethical. That's not moral. And I was like, this makes sense to me now.
It sounds
But
like
I loved it. I loved the marketing. The marketing program I did was really fun.
our generation kind of seeped in there. It's like everybody's a winner. Your theory
Yeah,
is right.
yeah.
Your theory is
Yeah, I
right.
didn't like.
And
I was like, they're all getting a participation trophy in psychology. I don't like this. Um, nothing wrong with psychologists and stuff. Go to therapy. Therapy's great for everybody. Um, but I just couldn't learn it. I couldn't learn it. You know, the degree aspect of it. I was like, this is stupid to me. So if you can do that, more power to you.
I'm sure it takes a lot of time and just a lot of patience is probably one
Yeah.
thing, especially working with people.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Therapy, I'm sure, is a whole other thing. Probably
Right.
that
And like, I
is.
just generally don't like people because people suck. You know, like, okay, I said that's a little aggressive, but like, you
You're
know, society, you know, people suck. And so it's really hard for me to like get close to people. And so like learning to like get people to open up to, you know, I was like, that's weird. I don't know. Business. Let me just sell something to you instead.
speaking like a true business major. People suck, and I
Absolutely.
want your money.
Exactly. I know how to take advantage. No,
Oh God! And
I
then
know how
just
to trick you.
this is a Twitch streamer, by the way, guys. A Twitch.
Hey
Oh
man, don't
yeah.
give away the secret. No. Don't break the illusion. No,
Oh
no.
jeez.
I just like in like society, whatever, you know, there's a lot of shitty people in society. But I've learned over the years it's like, I'm always going to be me unapologetically, and the people that appreciate that and like that, like if you don't like me, there's nothing I can do to like convince you to like me, because you're just not gonna like my person, my vibe, whatever it is. Um, and so I think that, as that relates to like gaming and streaming and whatnot, like you build the community around you that like vibes with each other because they're vibing with you too. Like, so it all makes sense in the long run. And if someone doesn't fit in, like I know it might be like taboo to say, but like then they don't fit in. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, oh, you don't like me. Well, let me change who I am so you feel comfortable. Like I, if you don't like me, there's 10,000 other people alive right now. And I promise you. And even if I know someone that's like, like I'm friends with people that are very different to me, and it's like, oh, um, you don't like me, like maybe you want someone more calm or whatever. Like, hey, I have this recommendation. Like this person, they're chill or whatever. Like, and I did that a lot during like a couple of my careers too. When I worked for college admissions for a while, recruitment,
Mm-hmm.
and people, kids would come up to me and they'd be like, "Hey, tell me about your school, blah 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 blah. Is it a party school?" And I'm like, "No, but if you want a party school, like that one right there, same program as I have, also a great program, big party school. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, I'm like, if that's what you want, I'll be honest, that's not my school. Go talk to this guy though. He's Mike right down here. He's a great guy, great counselor, and the truth is that school parties."
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be straight up with the kids. Like I'm not gonna lie to you to make you try to go to my school. But I'll help you and like guide you the right way to get what you want and find what you want. And so I kind of take that in a lot of like my life as, just my day-to-day life, but then also as it relates to streaming. Like I may not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. I'm who I am though, and maybe there's someone else that I know that you might like more than me, and that's fine.
Good. That's a good thing to have. No, it really is. I think criticism. I think we'll dive a little bit more once we get into your Twitch portion of stuff.
Yeah.
So I will probably circle back around. But yes,
Yeah. Absolutely.
definitely a good thing to have, because the internet can be negative at times and it's rough and
Hmm.
people are weird, and
Right.
the anonymity of the person behind the computer is like, yeah, you suck, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah. Internet guy. Oh, you're dumb and ugly. Thanks, I know. Like, okay. You're gonna troll me? Cool. Go try harder.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bring it on.
But,
Uh,
but circling back before we get into the Twitch, another question that I had, you talked about MMOs just a little bit and StarCraft. I am interested in the StarCraft
mm.
portion. But MMO specifically, you said you didn't play any other MMOs besides the one you mentioned pretty much. Would you try RuneScape at this point? Because you
I
said it's
I
similar.
I played RuneScape off and on here and there, never like heavily into it. I remember like it was at the point where like I got into it enough where I was on a Boy Scout trip to Washington D.C., and we were staying at like a 4-H center or something like that, like some big facility that had like a game room, and like the game room had like ping pong and pool and stuff, but it had like 10 computers in it as well. And I remember on that trip, like we would all rotate off and on, like playing RuneScape on the PCs and like during
Mm-hmm.
our downtime. And so like I remember playing RuneScape there and then like playing it at home and stuff, but I never like sunk, like I never could tell you like what my actual RuneScape usernames were or anything. Like I don't remember at all. I don't think I was ever even RiddleMeister or like anything. Like I have no clue. Um, and so like would I play RuneScape now? Potentially. Um, it's just not high on my list of games to play. If I was to like crack open an MMO right now, for all the hate that it gets, I'd probably still play New World. I do Elder Scrolls Online. Um, I haven't tried Final Fantasy Online, but everyone keeps saying it's good. Lord of the Rings Online, I dabbled in a little bit. I love Lord of the Rings. But the big ones would be New World and Elder Scrolls right now for sure.
Interesting. We'll talk about New World here in a second. I
Ugh.
made a lot of videos about New World. I'm sure people are like, oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah, right.
No, so the only reason I asked about RuneScape is because you said the original MMO that you sunk a lot of hours into was a 3D version of
Yeah.
RuneScape. So I was just curious if that was like,
Yeah, no, it was definitely more like up higher end graphics compared to RuneScape, but like it was still the same. Like you could walk, you walk from place to place, you could fish, you could uh do alchemy and like level up, different skills and whatnot, harvesting, mining, all the jazz, attack.
mm-hmm.
So it was all similar. But like yeah, that was it had I'd say not a long life, but it had a good life, that game.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
S-
there's still like a core like I don't even know if the game's still running actually, but there's like a core player group that like still is there now. But like that 2008 to 10 era, like it had a pretty solid player base, I would say.
I believe it. I mean, if you look at New World, they have a core
Yeah,
core
right.
base core base of people, I guess, that still play.
True,
But
true.
switching to StarCraft real quick, which is interesting, is more of a RTS real
hmm
strategy game. So, big StarCraft fan. It looks like you didn't transition too much in StarCraft 2, though. It's like StarCraft was your.
I did, but I just loved StarCraft a lot, like so much. Um, and I did do StarCraft 2 sometimes, but like I to an extent. I mean, I did do trying to StarCraft 2 is another one of those games where like I bought it 3 times accidentally. And it wasn't like because I loved the game. It was just like the first time I bought it, and then like the email that I bought it on, I couldn't reset the password and all. So then I was like, shit. And then I had to get it. It was just like, and then I had to get it again because like whatever. And even now, like if I go to play it, it's what the Blizzard launcher. I don't know if I remember anything like so I like might have had to buy it again. I don't know. If like I ever got the urge to do it. I'm really bad at like passwords and stuff. Uh and using my old email that no longer exists for games. And I'm like, that was a mistake thinking about it now. But yeah, I mean I played StarCraft 2 a lot, but like the memory of StarCraft for me is like OG StarCraft and like Brood War or whatever it was.
Mhm.
That was like it, being on the phone with an ex friend of mine, you know, since because Discord and stuff didn't exist back then. Being on the house phone and being like, "Hey, let's play," and my parents being like, "Get off the phone." I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing games. I can't." Um, yeah, like I got into StarCraft a lot for sure.
So, two questions. So, did you play the story at all, like the story mode of it, or at all?
I did. I'm not, knowledgeable enough to be like, oh yeah, I remember what happened, but like I know I played the story, but I definitely put a lot of time into like just like multiplayer online and then like this modded little like scenario games that you could do, like how you could play The Sims in StarCraft and like
Yeah,
all these different like tower defense modes and stuff like that. That stuff was so much fun.
that's actually how Dota and League of Legends were made, not through StarCraft, but through the Warcraft 3 client.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Blizzard flopped on that and was like, "Oh, it's not that popular." And then look at Riot Games now. But that's.
Exactly.
I was just
And the
gonna.
most like monetarily winnings esports tournament is Dota 2. Like, hello, you win that and you become a millionaire basically. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I was only gonna ask, but for the story mode specifically for StarCraft, because I was like, "What did you think about what happened to Kerrigan?"
I was
Jeez.
literally right when you said like you started asking the question, the first name that popped in my head was Kerrigan. Um, and I don't remember anything about it except didn't she get like infected or something like and then became one of like the Zerg or whatever? Like
Yeah.
she became evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like the only memory that I have right now
Yes, that is.
of the story.
You can't. The
That's
cutscene.
crazy.
And I'll never forget the cutscene. She's a ghost. She plays a ghost as a human, and then she gets
Yeah.
overtaken by the Zerg. And then Jim Raynor's like, "Damn you! You let her
Yeah.
die!" And then he like joins the Protoss for a little bit, and it's just
Yeah.
fucking.
I love the sound bits. The sound bits from that game are legendary, man. Nuclear launch detected. Um, Additional
So
supply depots required. Yeah, shit. I love that. I love that line. That's one of my favorite lines. I'll use that randomly, like in the middle of a conversation. If someone's like
Well,
if someone's like bugging me and like I can't think of like what I'm trying to say, I'm just like, "Ugh, you must construct additional pylons." And they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it, man."
well, that is good because I was actually now on the other side. Was that like your first like online experience, like playing online with like multiple people?
Yeah,
Like,
it was between StarCraft and the Eternal Lands. Those two were like the first like online multiplayer, like playing with people games, I would say.
so what was
Uh,
that feeling like? Because you played with people
I
sitting
so
next to you, and now
I loved it. I to this day make 98% of my friends online. And I would say like the majority of my like real life or personal connections online. Um, my best friend outside of the one from college, which I still talk to, my best friend, we met through gaming and music through a group chat, and we started gaming and playing Minecraft with everyone, and then like we just kept playing everything together. And now like we met like literally for the first time in person, like 2 years after we started gaming, give or take. And then I saw him for the second time, and both times we've met, we've gone to Disney World. So like, it's a little fun fact. Not that I'm a Disney adult or anything. But yeah. So like, I meet almost all, even like my IRL friends, like in Los Angeles area now. The majority of them I met online, like in a Discord group for like musicians and like DJs and stuff like that. Like I met them online first,
hmm,
and then I was like, oh shit, we kind of all live near each other. Like let's hang out. Um, and so like all my closest friends and everything, like I'm the type of person that I like to build a connection. So, and it's like not weird. Like I'll build a connection with someone for like a year or 6 months or whatever, online gaming and just hanging out like this. Like I'm super outgoing and like talkative and whatever on the internet. But if we met up randomly, like for the first time ever, like we had never spoken before, someone just introduced us at like a bar or something, and like I don't know anything about you, I'm like, hey, I'm Brian, nice to meet you. So like, what's up? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I fucking hate small talk. I hate this. This is driving me nuts. I want to jab something into my ear. Like, I hate this. This is horrible. Um, so circling back, playing online with people is where I was most comfortable because and it kind of goes back to like, oh, I hate people. I don't hate people, but like I don't like small talk. I don't like I'm very socially awkward, like connecting with people for the first time in person.
hmm.
So having the opportunity to be able to like meet people virtually and then like connect from there. And then when I meet you in person for the first time, it's just like, hey man, what's up? How's it going, dude? Oh my god, I can't like this is crazy. So what's up? What do we let's go grab a drink, let's go grab some food, like blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna fucking kiss you on the forehead. Mwah. Like it's like normal, like immediately normal. Um, but yeah, if I like didn't have that, then I'm just like, oh hey, you don't know who you are. Do we have anything in common? Like, oh, drives me nuts.
It's interesting you say that. Little side story here is that when I am totally shy, even though I will
Mhm.
talk to you now. If we met in
Right.
person, I'm still shy. I'm a
Yeah.
shy person, and it
And that
reminds
and that yeah.
just crazy.
No, very, very similar. Like I could put on this persona, whatever. Like, and it's funny because like people are like, oh, you can like hide behind a keyboard and like use like my Twitter account. Like I'm so taught. Like, but it's like, yeah, but like my face is still out there. Like like people are seeing me. Like I don't know any of these people. Like I can't see you guys like Twitch chat or whatever whatever Instagram. Like, but like I'm out here being like woohoo, like oh yeah, this is awesome. Like I'm goofing off. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. You meet me in person for the first time, and I'm just like, sup, guys. But I'm like, if I'm comfortable with you at the point, like then I'm twerking in the middle of the street and like fucking jumping on shit and doing somersaults or something. And they're like, dude, he's on crack. And I'm like, yeah, this is just me normally, but like only if I'm comfortable. And if I'm uncomfortable, then I'm just like reserved and quiet and shy, and it's really like awkward. And people are like, this is like two different people. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
No, it makes sense. It really does make
Yeah,
sense because it's like I said, it's just a whole. It's just like you said that interaction. That's maybe it is a small talk. I didn't really dive deep into why I'm shy. I'm just maybe just a shy person, but
yeah,
something with the screen, the camera. At least you have that like barrier. It goes back to
right,
the whole anonymous feeling to it. I know you're not anonymous when you're on camera, but
right.
you still have that like you're in your own home in your own comfort, you're doing your own thing. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but
It feels
oh, go
more
ahead.
normal to be on camera sometimes than it does to be like face to face with somebody.
That makes sense. I can see
Yeah.
that. Especially with Discord now and how everything just is
Right.
so intertwined with technology and even like FaceTiming like on your phone if you have an iPhone, and you
Um,
still can video
I-
call,
mm, if I'm not cool with you, don't like don't be FaceTiming me out of the blue. Like if you're not in like my top 5 favorite people in my phone and you FaceTime me, I'm gonna look at that shit and I'm gonna be like, why are you without warning FaceTime calling me? Like not without a heads up, like absolutely not. Don't do that. Um so there's like very few people that I'm like, I'll answer that call. I'll answer that FaceTime. I hate FaceTiming. But I think it's just 'cause it's like it's too close. So I'm like, look at my booger. Like I don't know. Um, Whereas like online, like I'm like back here. I'm like, you guys can't see my boogers dangling out, and yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
people want to know now who's in your top five. Who are those five people who you're like,
Oh
I'll
God,
FaceTime you?
that FaceTime me.
That you'll be like, you
You'll
know what? I'll pick up for you. You can see my boogers and all.
My sister
Okay, family.
FaceTimes
Okay,
me.
okay.
My buddy Urkiad, I game with him a lot. I FaceTime him a lot. Um, not family though, just my sister. Not my mom. If she FaceTimes me, I'm like, what do you want? Oh my god. You call me first. My sister though, I'll answer because it might be my nephew calling me, so like I'll answer that one. Um, I would rather die for that kid. Um, Irk, Danny captures CA. I'm really close with him, so if he FaceTimes me like all the time. Like he'll just like randomly give me a call and be like, "What are you doing right now?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Well, come play Goose Goose Duck." I'm like, "Okay." Like out of the blue, randomly, he'll just call me. What other FaceTimes do I do? Like I don't have a lot of. I think that's literally the only people that I've FaceTimed recently.
Damn.
Danny,
So
Irk,
if you didn't hear your
sister,
name,
Irk, 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 sister. And this is already back in February.
oh,
So yeah, that's all I do. Just those.
well, there you go, guys. You didn't hear your name in the top three or four there. You're fucked. You don't get the FaceTime like that. You
Or just
just
shoot me a text and be like, yo, can I FaceTime you real quick? And I'll be like, yeah, yeah.
but you don't get the
Just don't call.
privilege.
Yeah, you don't get the privilege of just being like, and I'm like, oh my god, who's FaceTiming me? Oh, what's up? What's up, sister? Oh,
Oh man, starting drama right there. They're like, why am I not in your top five? What the fuck?
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Come on, come fight with me.
But transitioning now into video games, we'll probably give love to Civilization here in a little bit, but I know we didn't talk too much
Yeah,
about it.
buddy.
But transitioning now into Twitch, of course, the obvious question is, how the hell did you find Twitch?
I found it in 2011.
Is it that old? Oh my god, Jesus
Well,
Christ!
Justin TV. It was JTV originally, and I found it right before the JTV, or right
Change.
after JTV switched to Twitch. So right after Justin TV, I was not on Justin TV, but if I do like account age or whatever, like my account is like 10 years, or no, my account is like 12 years, 11 years old or something like that. I can't remember the current account, but I definitely found it 2011 or 12, around that time frame. It was in college. I was big into, at the time, like Call of Duty esports, Dota esports. Those were like the main two that I loved watching all the time. Counter Strike, I would watch, esports a little bit here and there. Um, I think that was pre Valorant still. I think Valorant was like a big thing yet. But yeah, I mean, definitely Call of Duty, Dota. I was never a League guy. I never played League. I don't think played a single game of League, but I've played, a few hundred hours of Dota. Um, and they would just like stream it on YouTube, but then they started streaming it on like Twitch. So you'd
Hmm.
watch the competitions on Twitch and stuff. And like I was watching a lot of like the OG like optic gaming like videos on YouTube at the time. Um, or like there was one series, it was Tom Syndicate and the Optic Boys playing Minecraft.
Hmm.
And like that was one that I watched a lot. It was like Hunting Optic or whatever it was. Like that was a great series. I loved that series, but that was YouTube. And then all of a sudden, like they started streaming like Call of Duty and esports and stuff on Twitch. And so I started getting more Twitch from that specifically, from like the esports and Call of Duty was like the intro to it, I guess, for me. Um, yeah.
Did you ever want to become an esports player? Did you want to be
Uh,
competitive
you
like
know,
that?
I I was never good enough to be a player for an esports team, but I did work, whether you call it work or volunteer or like whatever, I got a cool gaming chair out of it back in the day, for free, like from a sponsor too. But I was on a team. I worked on a team in sort of like a managerial role, between the owners and then like the gamers. So I guess you'd call it like general manager, but like it wasn't really defined that much.
Hmm.
But I was definitely like running the social media accounts. I was running like if they needed like names or paperwork or anything, like I would get that from the players. They went to COD champs, during that time, so that was pretty cool to be a part of. But I didn't travel with them or anything. I was still in school and whatnot, and so like but I got, like I said, I got the gaming chair at the time, given to me, so that was pretty sweet. I got a nice gaming chair, and then it broke, so I don't own it anymore. Um,
Interesting.
Speaking of which, if anyone has a suggestion for a chair, I'm open to hearing.
There you go.
I need a new chair. But yeah, so that was Panda Gaming, PNDA, back in the day, and like it was cool because like players that are in the league now, like the COD league now, like pretty known names were like starting out on that back in the day. And so that was cool. Like I met some of the guys from that and whatnot, but a lot of them like they either retired or they're just not in the scene anymore. Um, but there's one that's left, I think, still.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
So who do you remember like the first streamer you watched, like on a
The first
personal level, not like
streamer that I
esports?
watched, it probably the first streamer that I watched probably was someone on Optic. It might have been like Big Timer or Nade Shot at the time. I don't know if he was even streaming on Twitch like that long ago. I'm trying to think of the first like actual streamer that I was watching. Oh my god, I don't know.
Or the
It
first
had to have been
person
a
you
call. It had to be a Call of Duty guy. It had to be.
or the first person you subscribed to or donated to that was like
Oh god.
notable?
I. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it had to have been it had to have been one of the Call of Duty Optic guys probably.
Can't
Back
believe
in the
it.
day. I
You,
can't even think about like I can't even the memory of that being like almost 10 years ago, give or take, like I'm like, "Oh my god, I have no idea." I don't even know if can I find that statistic? Like, can I find the first person that I sub to somewhere
probably
ever?
probably not. I do.
10 years ago?
I remember the first person I watched. It actually was the first person I wanted to interview, and they said no. Believe it or not.
Mm,
So I was like, right through the heart. I came up with this whole idea because of their
a
stream. But
knife, a
yeah,
knife. Ugh.
yeah.
Um, no, but like the first like I would say notable person that like I started religiously watching. I don't say religiously, that's a little weird, but regularly watching was probably Cray. She's DJ but also a streamer. And so I got into like that world a lot from that. Like I found her through music, obviously, and then I was like, oh, she streams and she plays games, and that's cool. Um, and so now like I mod for her now, and like we're friends and whatnot. We're gonna her boyfriend's playing a show on Friday. I'm gonna see her. We're gonna hang out. But like that was probably like the first like like person that I like jumped into a community of. And so like then I started like right before COVID started happening, which is
Hmm.
funny. You think about like, oh, I've been on Twitch since 2011, 2012, but like the first time I actually like started, like, maybe it was because I became more outgoing, like, I don't know. Um, but I started like getting into like the community side of it more only like 2018, 2017. And then right before COVID, like that Shaney's craze community, we that's where I met a lot of like my good friends now. Like it was from that. Remember I was saying like we started playing Minecraft and stuff together. Like it was that community specifically, and I made a group chat for everyone. She had a Discord, and then we made a Twitter chat, and so now we have like this Twitter chat that we're all in. And like anyone from Twitch can join if they sub, and like I handle all that stuff and whatnot. And so it's cool, but it's like weird to think about. Like there was like a 5 year gap from when I first got on Twitch to when I actually did Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like the first memories of like it was probably around like 2018 when I started being like, oh, Twitch communities are cool. I love chatting with people as well, like in their communities and like hanging out and stuff. And I just like hadn't done that previously. I streamed in 2012.
Hmm.
That was like the first like 200 follower time frame was like 2012, but like then I stopped, and my ex, wasn't very supportive of it at the time. Of just, like streaming and gaming constantly. So like I didn't play for a while, and then I would stream for a little bit, and then I would stop again for like a year, and then I would come back for like 2 months, and then I'd stop again. And
Hmm.
it took until COVID, like everyone else, basically, to start being more consistent. And then I did it for like jammed out like a full year of like consistent streams, and then real life, new job, everything took over. Um, and I know I might be jumping the gun of like, oh, you're gonna ask the question, when did you first start streaming? But
A little bit.
yeah,
I mean, if you want to incorporate it, you can go. You can do that now.
yeah, and so like that same time frame of like 2019, like right before COVID, everything started. That's where like I really jumped into the communities of it, and then I was like, shit, like why don't I just do it again, but be more consistent? And then I was, and then I stopped again, like an idiot. And then I took it back up again earlier this year, finally. Like official, I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna start streaming again, and like actually take it serious this time. And I have been like I've always been like off and on with streaming, and like every time I start streaming, I take it seriously. But I think this is the time where like I've put the most into it finally for the first time in 8 years. Um, and it's just like a cool feeling to actually be like, I don't know if it's my mindset's different, like I don't know what happened, but it's just like I feel like it's a very different person now streaming than it was like 2020 or 2022 or 2018 or 2017 for me, or 2015. Like so like something snapped finally, and I was just like, I'm doing it legitimately this time.
You jumped the gun on all my questions. Actually, you're
Oh
like,
my
no,
god.
you're good. No, because I was gonna ask you more in detail of like what changed this time. Like, was it real life stuff? I know you said your ex was part of why you stopped streaming
Yeah.
before, but
Yeah.
is it something that you
Yeah.
you see yourself doing as a job, maybe, or is it just you just really enjoy this
Yeah, I mean,
aspect of
yeah,
it?
I've worked in content for the last couple years now, whether it was like at an agency, managing creators, or doing content planning with creators, etc. And I met like a lot of people through that, and being in LA, like that was like a huge like networking thing and whatnot. And a lot of them were like, dude, you have a personality for it, like just do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's a lot of people like Danny captures CA. Danny, I was, I talked to him, and a month before the company, like we signed him and I was his direct manager, but then the company shut down literally a month later. And so it was like, oh my God, like we never really get a chance to actually like get into it together.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we've always been like, damn, that sucks. But we stayed close, and like we're good friends now, which is really cool. And like during this like time frame of that company shutting down and whatnot, he was like, Brian, just stream again, dude. Just do it. Just do it. Like stop thinking about it. Just like stop overthinking. Just do it. And so he was, and I was like, okay, fine. I'll just do it. Like finally, like I'll just shut up and do it. And so he was like one of the main reasons like he pushed me to get back into it. But I had been thinking about it for a while, and I was like, like anxiety, whatever, like I don't know. And then finally I was like, you know what, fuck it, you're right, I'm just gonna do it. And thank God it did because I'm loving it now. Actually loving it. Like now I get anxiety for not streaming, and before it was anxiety to press start. And now I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, wait, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go live tonight until I'm like, shit, what time can I? Oh God, I don't know, 9:15. Okay, cool. I guess that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. um, but yeah, I don't. What changed this time? I think it was like the support, the networking of like working at the last few like companies and agencies that I worked at, and just like getting a lot of like the insight
Mhm.
on the back end of things as well, and then realizing like, yeah, I have the knowledge in this. I can do this actually. Um, and like just like learning about it and like understanding what it takes more and like the time that it takes and the effort and the personality and like it's gonna suck sometimes and it's gonna be great sometimes and it's gonna be hard and it's gonna take a lot of time, like commitment and whatnot. And I'm like, from the back end of things, I'm like, yeah, I never realized this like previously. So maybe that's what it was, like working for the companies and learning more. And then I was like, shit, you know what? I actually like this. Now that I understand it's more of like the business aspect of it, I like think back to like why I went to school and I'm like, okay, this is actually like it makes sense to me now. It's not just like, oh, people are gaming on like, oh, they play games and like, oh, but there's like it's like a business to it, which I think is really cool, like building a brand and everything. And that was like my big. I went to school for marketing. Brand building was like one of the things I studied. And so I think finally it's like coming to the realization, that like yeah, people and like people like they say people people say, oh, in your 20s you figure life out and then 30s is when you actually start living.
Mhm.
And that's sort of how I'm feeling about it as well, which is like funny. Like I thought I had it figured out, at 25,
Yeah.
and then by 26 I was packing up and moving across the country to California, and by 31 I've been laid off twice and experienced a lot. And so now, I'm about to turn 32 next month. And holy shit, what day is it?
Today is July 25th.
Oh my God, my sister's birthday was yesterday.
The whole 180 there, bro. You ever found a spiel speech, I was like, hell yeah. And you just like, I'm sure she'll understand. You can FaceTime her randomly. One of the few people that are on your list to
Oh my God.
it happens. It happens.
Notoriously, my family makes fun of me because I call the day after. Every time.
Well,
Every time.
you're keeping up
Every
tradition.
time.
Keeping up.
Holy shit.
I don't mean to.
Okay. So,
I know.
oh my
No,
God.
you're good. I don't mean to laugh. It probably stresses you out a little bit there.
Damn.
But
Okay. Moving on.
no, you're good. So a few things. Let's start with your Twitch. What do you stream? Let's start there because you
I'd
talk
say
about
variety.
civilization, but
Yeah, I'd say variety. I was streaming a like Call of Duty a lot, and I realized it's just like not what I like to stream, um, or play for like a long time. So it definitely became more variety. I'll do the MMOs, I'll do the New World, I'll do Civ every now and then. I'll do Resident Evil, not Resident Evil. Oh my God, Red Dead Redemptions, like story driven games. But then I'll do like silly things like plastic duck simulator, and it's literally just ducks floating in a pool. um the cat game. Oh my God, what was that cat game? Big City Little Cat, little kitty Big City, whatever it was. Like that was so cute and I loved it and I played it. It was great. So like I'm down to play anything really at this point. Play anything, talk about anything, do anything. I've done some IRLs. I did IRL at Disney World last time I was there. um so I'm very open to like whatever at this point. um I think just it comes down to like my confidence levels for what I want to do. Like the IRL was like different for me because I had done an IRL before, but like this was like at Disney, so I was like like nervous. Um, where like then I'll like my Danny, my buddy, like we were doing an IRL together, and he's like literally twerking in the boba shop, and I'm just like, oh my God, like oh my God, oh my God. I'm so like I was like, this is so crazy. Like, how do you have the confidence to do this? Like, you're insane. In the like what? Um, but yeah, I would classify myself as a variety streamer, I guess. Um, but at the end of the day, labeling myself as a variety streamer, like I would just say like I'm I don't know, like I guess that's how you would label it. I'm a variety streamer. I don't know.
It's
If there was
interesting.
a way to just like not label it and just be like, I'm a streamer, like perfect.
Uh,
I'm a creator, like whatever.
it's interesting because you're a big Civ guy and you put a lot of hours in these games, like strategy games, but it doesn't seem
Mhm.
like you don't play strategy games on stream.
Not that much. When I do, like I've played Civ on stream, and I probably will again soon. Um, but it's just like I think a lot of it also comes down to like what works and what doesn't on, which is funny because I always say like, oh, if you don't like me, I'm not going to change myself. But like I definitely do look at like statistics and stuff, like business guy. I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at what works, what doesn't work, um, from the business point of view of it. I think there's a community that's like I'm building and have built that would accept me doing anything at this point, which is great.
Mhm.
And so I think now that that's been like established, like I'll probably go back to some of like the strategy stuff because I can make it strategy. At the end of the day, strategy games are just like they're kind of boring to watch. Unless you're really into the strategy game, like watching Civ is just like, like, what are you doing if like you're not into it? Or and so like, but I like with my buddies and stuff, like we've made it like Civ fun. Like we'll play against each other, or like we'll team up against like harder like bots and whatnot and CPUs and just try to like do like interesting things or like scenarios or drinking games out of it
Mhm.
or whatever, and just make it more interesting rather than just like, okay, let me build my builder. My builder is going to make a farm over here. And then, okay, where am I going to settle? I'm going to settle it over here, make a new city. Like, if you're watching that and you don't know, you're like, what the fuck is this? Um, and
That's
so I think
fair.
that's where, like, I didn't stream it for a while. Uh, but, like, I would get off stream and, like, literally just immediately launch Civ sometimes. It's just like my, like, chill game, Like, I'll play it whenever, at any time. I'll just load up Civ.
Would you say that's your favorite computer game then?
Uh, yeah, I would say that right now. Definitely. Like they announced Civ 7, Civ 7? Yeah, Civ 7. And I geeked. Like as soon as they announced it, and I was like, I saw the name like Civilization, and I was just like, oh yeah, new Civ game, let's go. And then it's like coming in 2026, and I was like, all right, that or whatever it is. And I'm like, okay.
And
I got excited for it was like seeing the new Elder Scrolls launch 8 years ago, and they teased, yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. And it's like, why the hell did you guys tease this 6 years ago? Because that's it. We got the teaser, and now everyone's like, well, this sucks. Because we're not getting it for another 2 years, 3 years. Like, what are you doing?
it happens. It happens.
Oh God.
The fun part now, I get to do a whole big full circle. So we talked about this way earlier about people
Yeah.
not liking you and whatnot. The nominee on Twitch. I don't see it much. I'm in and out of your streams. But how do you deal with that criticism of people? Because you're on TikTok too and other social
Yeah.
platforms. Do you get a lot of negative comments? How do you deal
You
with
know,
that? How do you cope with
I've
that?
gotten some negative comments. I've gotten some like negative stuff like said in chat. I've gotten negative messages, whatever. Um, if you're negative, like, I'm gonna be like, all right, tell me why you feel, like I'll straight up ask. I'll be like, why? What's up? What's going on? Why you coming in here and saying, F you, you suck? Like, what caused that? And if they're like, oh, you're just ugly and dumb and you're loud and annoying, I'm like, sick, dude. Well, bye, get the fuck out then. Like, I mean, I am. That's me. I'm loud and annoying sometimes. Like, okay, cool, good job. You literally said what I am. Like, oh, good, well done. Um, if someone like on TikTok's like, this is the dumbest TikTok I've ever seen, I'm like, well, I'm a dumb guy, so enjoy, man. If it's the dumbest TikTok you've ever seen, how'd it come on your For You page? Your algorithm must show you dumb stuff then. So it's more of just like fight fire with fire. Like, if you're dumb to me, I'll just be dumb. I'll take it in stride. I always tell people like, like I'll tell my chat and everything too. Like you can bully me all you want because it does not bother me. Like I'll make it a part of the community. Like there's literally memes that Heather, my I would say top mod, even though I hate saying that. But like Heather, one of my mods, slash good friends, we talk literally all day, every day. She made a meme that's a watch, and it says, "Oh, would you look at the time? It's Bully Bry o'clock." And like we've used that for the last like 5 years in Craze community, in like everything. And she'll pull it out randomly every now and then, just be like, "Hey guys, Brian did something stupid. Bully Bry o'clock," and I'm just like, "Yeah, all right, I guess so. You're right. Yeah, it is." And so like negative comments and stuff, like if it's actually constructive criticism, like I'll take it. Like it's like I'll actually listen to it. Like if someone's like, "Hey, this could be better. This doesn't look that good." One of my good buddy from college, he would tell me stuff like 2 years ago. He'd be like, "Hey, stop doing this on stream. Like it's not good. Like it's not good. It's like I'm cringing watching it. It's not good." And not like a good cringe, like a oh my god, he needs to stop this type of cringe. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense." Like thanks for telling me. But if he's just like, "Dude, you're being stupid," I'm like, "I know, man." Like, cool, thanks. All right. "Oh, I smell? Thanks. I know, probably. I didn't like I'll crack like I'll make fun of myself all day, every day. I don't care." Um, and that's just like the personality. Like, I'm not a serious I'm okay, I'm a serious guy, but I'm not like serious all the time,
Hmm.
especially when it's about like joking about me. Like if you make a joke about me, if it's in good intentions, for the most part, I'll laugh with you. Like make fun of me. I don't care. I literally got out of my car the other day and walked into a pole. Like I'm an idiot. I walked into a cactus because I saw another cactus and I was like, "Oh, I've never touched this cactus before." And I reached out to touch it and I walked into another one. Like I don't know why that was my thought process, but it was. Growing up, I rode my bicycle before I, could drive a car and whatnot. I was riding my bicycle one day and I looked down, and then the next thing I looked up and I was hitting the back of a parked car and I flipped into the back of the pickup truck and I got 17 stitches in my leg. And I'm like, "Dude, I'm an idiot. Like it's fine." I'm
Uh,
dumb. Go for it. Call me dumb.
oh God.
I was
Well.
on the news once. It's another fun fact. Goes back to this. I was on the news once. I was snowboarding one day, and I had a bright orange jacket. Like that was my like gear, like bright orange jacket and a green snowboard. And the news was at the ski mountain, and they're like, "It's opening. Like it's the opening week. Whatever, whatever." And I was there. Obviously, I love snowboarding. Grew up in the Northeast. Grew up in the mountains in the snow. And I get home, and my mom goes, "I got to show you something." And I was like, "What?" And she pulls up like the TiVo or whatever the hell it was, like a VHS recording. She pops it in. She recorded the news, whatever. She goes, "Is that you?" And it's like you see like the news reporter. She's standing there. She's like, "And it's opening day here at Ski Sundown. And look at everyone." And in the back, like you see this fucking dude with an orange shirt or an orange jacket coming down the mountain, hits a jump, and just boom, face plants a huge puff of smoke in the air, or puff of snow in the air. And she goes, "Was that you?" And I was like, "Yep, that was 100% me eating shit on the news in the background. That's my life. That's normal for me. Thank you. Thank you, mom. Thank you." And I think that was the first thing where I was just like, "I'm an idiot, man, and I accept it. I accept
Crazy.
it."
Crazy, crazy. But talking about bullying and being assholes online, which is good transition. Do you think Twitch has the tools to give you the best success and the best for you as a streamer? Do they provide everything that you need?
No, because if they did, people wouldn't be asking every day, every week, every month for Twitch to add something else, or using third-party applications to make life easier, or contemplating switching platforms, everything. And whether it comes down to moderation, whether it comes down to like discoverability on Twitch, which I know is also asked. That's why you have to like, do all the other socials as well. You have to network, you have to, build communities outside of Twitch a lot of the times to grow on Twitch.
Hmm.
I know they're like saying like, "Oh, we're gonna start doing like the clip, thing where you can like scroll like it's TikTok and look at clips and whatnot. But like, how does that algorithm work for someone who has 100 followers and someone who has 100,000? Like, what? How is Billy Bob and Jill Jane gonna find the guy with 100? Like, is it gonna push the algorithm of the 100 streamer, or is it gonna push like that 100 follower streamer onto the algorithm who gets one view? Or are they gonna say like, oh well, Hassan gets us hella ad revenue and hella views and sub revenue, so like let's put his content more in the algorithm because that's going to help our business. Like, can we trust Twitch to be honest with the algorithm, or are they going to like every other social media site ever, are they going to tweak it? And so it just kind of like, that's a question of, if Twitch was perfect, we wouldn't need all these other things to grow on Twitch, or to
that
even
makes
make stream look good. Like, how many apps are implemented? And I get like it's good to have like Twitch allows like the third party integrations, crowd control, sound alerts, stuff like that, like all the
mhm.
different apps you can do to make things more interesting. It's good that they allow that. And I understand like they can't do it all. Uh, so it's good that there's the apps, but it's just like, if 1%, if 99% of streamers stream to 0 people and 1 people, like, how is not like fairness of it, but like, how does Twitch make it so that way like it actually is useful or viable for people to actually want to start streaming? And in
Mhm.
that sense, like, Twitch, what is it? Twitch spends more money hosting all the small streamers than they make because they're hosting all like the servers and stuff. So like, how can they make it so then like, okay, well, if that's your issue, then how can you push the small streamers, the 0 viewer, 1 viewer, 2 viewer people, how can you push them to grow instead of growing the big people that are already big, because you're making money off of those but you're losing money off everyone else?
Mhm.
And I don't know. So do they provide everything that everyone needs? No. Do they do a okay job? Yes. Can they do a lot better? Yes.
Which is a perfect follow up for the next question would be, what is one thing that you want to see Twitch add? If it be moderation, if it be something third party that you've seen that you would rather have on Twitch, or
I mean, and it's what they're adding in right now. They're trying to, like, I think the stories on Twitch mobile, like, I don't think I've ever purposely watched stories on Twitch mobile, or even on Twitch in general. Like, you can like post a story. I don't think like, I didn't even, when that first happened, I was like, what the hell is this? Um, but I think like the TikTok esque, I think a way to upload your short form content, not like I don't know if what they're saying, like, oh, it'll be like clips that like are already clipped on your channel and like those will go through. But like, how many clips on people's channels are just literally like them accidentally clipping the wrong section, and then they clip something like, and then they just don't delete it? Like, I know for a fact, like, I've got 5 clips of me trying to clip the right clip,
mm-hmm.
and like the first clip is just way like 10 seconds off, so like nothing's there. It's just me like I'm not doing anything in that clip. Is that clip going to be what gets pushed, or is it going to allow, or like, is this clip algorithm thing that they keep talking about implementing for discoverability, like, can I upload my edited short form content onto Twitch? And then from there, is it like basically like a built-in TikTok in Twitch? I think that would be cool. Like, a Reels or a TikTok type of implementation in the app explicitly. So like, you can go to someone's profile, you can see past streams, you can see their raw clips, and then you can see like short form at actual clips. And then there's a section where like that's what you can scroll through on Twitch, and it'll link automatically to your Twitch profile, because it's your profile.
Mm-hmm. That
Kind of like
makes
how
sense.
YouTube has long form and then short form sections and playlists and whatnot. Like, I think Twitch would benefit from something like that as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would be actually kind of cool to see. I'm sure they'll. I hope they implement it, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, to compete with YouTube, like, I think Reels is great, because Reels, I've had Reels get like tens of thousands of views, but I only have 100 subs because I don't upload on YouTube. And it's like, yeah, but like, I had a real good, you know decent amount of views and I gained like 10, 15 subs from it because they automatically clicked on the, linked back to my YouTube profile. And I'm
Hmm.
like, that's cool. Twitch should do that too. That makes so much sense to me.
And then as somebody that, well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Instagram does the same thing with reels. Like a reel pops off, someone might follow you from that reel. But
Yeah.
Instagram was supposed to be for photos, whatever. But like reels, people doom scroll for hours and hours on these goddamn apps. So yeah, a reel might pop off and it might make you popular.
There you go,
um,
Twitch. You know what to do.
right.
Implement it, damn it. What the hell are you doing?
That's all I want. No.
I'm sure it'll come, especially if you're doing the story thing. If they're already implementing the
Yeah.
stories, I'm sure it's just taking
Right.
time. So
Yeah.
give it time, give it time.
True.
Um,
True. True.
but as somebody that streams and somebody that looks up to you as a streamer, which would be funny, but or looks up to me or whoever is a streamer and wants to stream themselves, what is one piece of advice you would give them?
Network. Network. Don't network in like the way of like, hey guys, like don't go into someone else's chat and be like, hey, come watch my stream. Just make friends, join their discords, chat with them, be normal, have normal conversations. Um, you know, like I'll go into Danny's chat and I'll just chat. Like I like his community. It's a fun community.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy hanging out with them. He's never once rated me. He's never like I've never asked him to rate me. I don't expect him ever to like, it's not like, oh, I expect you to do this. I just like going in there. But I've noticed because like I've talked and communicated with these people and they actually like me like in chat as well. Some of it has like rolled over where like, oh, they might see that I'm live like in 2 days from now and like, oh, I like Brian in chat. Let's go see if I like him like on stream. And like, so that's really cool. But like going into Discords, supporting other people, supporting other streamers, um, being normal, like not begging for follows, not begging, follow for follow, like all the cringy shit. Just be yourself and do your thing, and because like the unwritten rules, like don't self promo yourself in other people's chats, don't talk about your own chat, don't talk about other people's chats, like don't be weird about it. If you go into the community and enjoy the community and build your relationship that way with these people, and
Mm-hmm.
if they see you, they see you. If they don't, it's fine, because you're going to build your own community anyway, as long as you're consistent and personable and all these things. And that, I mean, and it goes back to my whole thing of like, I don't expect anything from anybody, but I love to support people that I like to support. And if you're like a friend, I've been in an Uber ride before and my Uber driver's like, oh yeah, I make music, and I'll be like, oh, what's your Spotify, what's your sound, like, let me check it out. And like I've literally followed people, their Instagrams and their Spotify links from, and they were my Uber driver. I've, gotten contact information from people that way. I've, learned, you know, why would you think people would support you if you never support anyone else in your life? Why are you going out asking people like, hey, you should, I don't know why I'm holding a screwdriver. Why, like, I need to. It's like a fidget thing. It's driving me nuts. Um, why? I think it's cringy just from my personal, like to be like, hey guys, thanks for coming and supporting me, and then just like turn off stream, like just fucking fuck off and like don't support anyone else ever. Uh, and it's like, even there are friends who have small businesses that I know in real life, and like I've bought stuff from them, I've bought their product, or I've participated in their business, whatever. And have they reciprocated? No. Do I care? No. Because if I'm helping them out, then that gives me the pleasure. And I know this is a long drawn out way of saying, like, what advice would you give? If you go out and support people, good things will come back. Maybe it's a karma thing. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, good karma brings good things. Um, but like, I will always go and support people unless they're like a just a generally shitty person. Like, if you're just a bad person, like I will not give you the time of day. Certain musicians are like, like if you're a musician and you go and punch your fans, and you fight with them online all the time, I'm never gonna listen to your music. Um, Ronnie Rod. But um, I'm very vocal about it. I don't care. I'm so sorry if that comes back to hurt you. You can
No,
edit
you're
that
fine.
out.
No, you're good. You're good.
um, but like I'm a firm believer of just supporting the people that are around you, and whether that reciprocates or not. For me, I don't care because I get the pleasure from supporting them. And so if you're trying to like start up, and I still consider myself, I'm a small streamer, obviously, and I still look toward a lot of people that I support and whatnot for inspiration, for advice, for whether they may know it or not. Like I've been inspired by so many different people that I've found over the past 4, 5, 6, 7 months, um, both in person and online. And so whether they may know it or not, like they've played a big impact in my streaming, but also in me as a person. And so I would like to support that back. And so long drawn out way of saying, join communities, network that way, be just a normal person, not a weirdo that wants to self promote and, take advantage of other people only to get stuff, not to give back as well. I don't know.
Hmm. No, no, it makes sense.
Super long answer just to say like just be cool.
It's something that is actually something different I haven't heard before. A lot of people talk about socials and, like you said, not be on every platform.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just a different. It was a different take. I like it. It
Yeah.
was very.
And like I'm on all the different platforms and stuff. I upload less than I would like to. Also, if you're an editor, hit me up. I need short form editing because I don't want to do it myself because I hate it. Um, I literally hate editing TikToks and Reels. But um, yeah, I mean, like, I, I've known people that have blown up from TikTok. He went viral, had a 10 million view TikTok, and he's averaging 100, 100 average right now every time I see him live.
Hmm.
And like I knew him when he first started streaming, and like because of that TikTok, like he popped off. Now he's got like 600K or whatever, 500K on TikTok, and like he averages 100 viewers, and it's like that's really cool. Like I'm proud of him. I've supported him. I always will. Um, and so like yeah, going back, socials, other socials is great, but
Hmm.
also like how in my eyes, it's like cool. I went viral. I have a bunch of followers now, but like, I'm just a. That's what I'm known for. Is like I'm just like a dude that went viral. Like personally, that to me is for myself, not for like. I'm not saying like that. He's cringy. Like for myself, that would be cringy because like I don't want to be known as like oh the guy that went viral. I want to be known as oh that's Riddle. Just a great dude. In every community that he's in, he's just like a good overall person. And that's what I try to be. If someone needs help, I'll try to help them. If somebody needs, whatever, whether it's in person, whether it's, the stray cat outside of the art studio that I work at, like I
Hmm.
literally bought cat food to keep in the art studio to give to the stray cat. Like I'm just like, I want to help people and things and whatever around me and support them. And so I've talked about it all the time, like support others because why can you expect support back if you can't even give anyone their support? Um, and karma or whatever. I don't know.
That was a very loving answer. No, that makes sense. Um, Looking 5 years down the line on Twitch. I mean, you could talk about life too, but 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself? Are you partnered? Is this
Oh
something in the
shit!
job?
I literally just had this type of conversation with somebody recently, like, and this is my least favorite question in like job interviews. 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Like, motherfucker, probably working. I know the answer you want to hear is, oh, I'd love to work my way up in the ranks of your company, whatever. Motherfuckers, I don't even know what I want for breakfast tomorrow. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing Saturday. Like, uh, oh, what do I see myself in 5 years? Man, I don't even know where I see myself next month. I don't even know where I see myself next week. I don't even know what I'm gonna do right after we hang up this call. Well, I'll call my sister obviously and be like, I'm so sorry. But like the whole 5-year thing, whatever. Like, would I love to get partner one day? Yeah. Would I? Is that a goal? Sure. Is it an expectation? Not really. Some people will be like, "Oh, then you're not motivated," whatever. But like, I don't expect, you know, like I don't know. Maybe I have a different mindset of like, I don't expect me to be like famous or I'm like I don't know. I think it just happens one day, for people sometimes. Like, oh, one day you're streaming to two people and the next day you're streaming to 200. Like, oh, holy shit, how did this happen? You don't I don't expect it. If it happens, it happens and it's because of whatever I did to get here. Um so 5 years from now, like can I say where I want to be? Would I like to be partnered? Sure. Um, I think that would be great. Um, would I be doing this, content creation full time? Maybe. Maybe I'm back, doing it part time and managing creators again. Maybe I have my own, creator business or whatever. Maybe I am morbidly, not alive at the, I don't know, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, that's where it's just like, what do you want to do in 5 years for the job interview? Motherfucker, I hope your company doesn't shut down in a month. Like, that's what I hope for. I don't hope for anything after that. Like, I hope I can wake up and just have another day. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe a different mindset for some people. Like, you know, I like to take life as it comes, and like I'll have my goals, I'll have my plans, I'll have, in my head, like, okay, I would love for this to happen. For my birthday, I want to do this. For, within the next year, I would love to have this goal. And like people are like, they always set goals, like, oh, next year I want to have this many followers and I want to have this many Twitter followers and I want to post this many. Like, that's good for them, but that doesn't work for me personally. Um, because now I'm like looking at this every day and like it's stressing me out. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get there? What do I have to do? I just want to be able to be me.
Mm-hmm.
And if being me gets those things to happen, then that's awesome. And if it doesn't, at least I'm still me. Because I'm always going to be me. And that, I know we started with that. I started saying that too. I'm going to be me no matter what. Um, and the person that I am now obviously is not the person that I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but like it's similar. But I've just
Mm-hmm.
learned like don't, whatever people think of you is what they're going to think of you, and you just be yourself and don't, let other people control your narrative of your life, because that's what the expectation is. Oh, you're gonna get married. Oh, you're gonna have kids one day. Oh, you're gonna get the job and the house and dude, I'm gonna just be me, and if any of that shit happens, then it happens. I don't know if it's going to, but if it does, it does.
Makes
And
sense.
so that's my answer of where do I see myself in 5 years. Uh, I see wherever life takes me over the next 5 years, and every day changes that
No, that
direction. Yeah.
direction, probably direction or directive, depending on
Yeah,
if
yeah,
scene's
yeah. Every
getting
every day something comes up, every week. Like, oh, okay, next week I want to go to Disney on Wednesday, but Tuesday night my car breaks down.
mm-hmm.
Well, I had these plans to go to Wednesday, Disney, but now I can't. So it's like, I guess, like, damn, now what?
Yeah. And
So it's more of like shit. Like every day, you never know what's gonna happen. So do I have long term things that I would like? Yeah. Do I take each day, day by day? Absolutely.
that's all you can do sometimes. That's all you can
Yep.
do. On some random silly questions before
Oh boy.
we
Oh
finish
god.
everything up here. Are the glasses fake?
Nope, they're real. I'm blind. No, they are real. They are prescription. They do have yellow light, blue light, whatever lens in there too. But if I take this off, I cannot read anything that's on my screen currently.
Oh wow, you are really blind. Being
Yeah,
able,
not really blind. It's
I
just like,
that was there's not that much of a distance. You're like I can't read anything. I was like, oh god.
yeah. I mean, like I know what it says just because I've been looking at it. But like, if I like don't read this up here right now, and I try to read this, I'm gonna be like, of course it would be impossible. Like, I actually have to like focus, and squint, and so yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. I was just
they're real.
curious. Which is very
They are
cute.
real.
And of course, with the Disney, you've talked about Disney, and I'm sure people would kick me if I didn't ask about Disney. What is your favorite ride at Disney? And yeah, we'll just go with that.
Uh, Pirates of the Caribbean, always favorite ride, no matter what park. Well, at Disneyland and Magic Kingdom, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Um, California Adventure, ooh, probably going with. See, it's a different ride for each park. Indiana Jones slaps. I love the Indiana Jones ride. Um,
Is that
at
the water
Epcot,
ride?
no, it's like a coaster type of deal.
Okay, okay.
It's like a roller coaster. Well, yeah, it's a pseudo coaster, I guess, because it's like a track ride where like you're in like a car type of thing, and it like
Yeah,
goes
it
through, but
takes you
like it
through
has
the
quick turns
scenes.
and
Yeah.
movements and stuff. It's really cool. I love it. It's one of my favorite rides overall. Um, but I think that's actually at Disneyland too, not even California Adventure. I love the Incredicoaster though. Ugh, I love roller coasters. I haven't gone on the new Tron ride yet, but I want to. The new Guardians ride is really fun. It's really fun. Um, I think the Star Wars ride is overrated.
Oh, oh, geez. Well,
Hot
hot
take. I
take.
think it's overrated. I think it's fun. I don't think it's worth waiting 2 hours in line for
Well,
at all.
you got the Dash Pass now. I don't know if that's in both parks, but isn't that the
Yeah,
pass
I mean they
help?
changed it. The Lightning Plus and Genie, they changed it all. It costs so much money now. But yeah, when that ride came out and people were like waiting 2 3 hours to ride it, I'm like, hell no.
Did
First
it?
time I went to go ride it too, it broke down, and then I was like, that's annoying. But
Uh,
yeah, yeah, that's life.
do you have a go-to food at the Disney parks? I know they have. They're
Go
willing.
to food, yes. Oh my god, at Disneyland, next to Pirates of the Caribbean, there's this clam chowder place.
Clam chowder.
Oh yes! Anytime I go to Disneyland, I'm getting this clam chowder. I don't care if it's 100 degrees. I don't care if it's 30 degrees out. I don't know why it would be 30 degrees in Disneyland, California, or Florida. But I am getting this clam chowder. It is so good at Disneyland.
Really
Yep, at Disney World, it's Epcot. It's at the Japan Pavilion, and it's the Japanese shaved ice.
interesting.
Oh, so good.
I did not expect that. Like I always see the turkey leg and the Dole Whip. I did not
The
expect.
turkey leg, I get it, like classic. I'll get a turkey leg, whatever. But like, if I go to Disney, like, I need the clam chowder at Disneyland. If I go to Disney World, I need to go to Epcot, and I need to get the Japanese shaved ice,
So is it
the
really?
kakigori.
I've never been to either one. Is the
Okay.
food really all bees knees? Like people are like, this is like for
You know,
amusement
it
park food.
depends. It depends. I mean, the amusement if for amusement park food, it is really good. Like I've been to Six Flags, I've been to Busch Gardens, I've been to, whatever. Like Disney food is pretty damn good, especially during like Food and Wine Festival and stuff. Um, but like at the end of the day, it is Disney, or it is like amusement park food.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn tastes like popcorn.
Oh,
Beer tastes like beer. The Dasani water still sucks. Um,
they
and so
rebranded. Okay, they rebranded.
yeah. But yeah, I just that clam chowder. I don't know what it is about that clam chowder. It Someone's probably gonna be like, it's just generic clam chowder, and it's like, sure, but it's like the clam chowder at Disneyland. Like it has like the extra spot for me. Like I need that clam chowder. Um, and yeah, kakigori, the shaved ice at Epcot in Florida in the
Mm-hmm.
Japan Pavilion. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if I have like a fond memory as a child, but that shit, the orange one, oh, the orange flavor tastes so good, so good,
Fair
so
enough. Fair enough. I was just curious.
good.
Well, you have made it through the hard part. The tough questions are over. How's it feel? Are you relieved?
Beautiful.
The stress off your
You know,
shoulders?
I've been having fun. I've been enjoying myself. So I won't even say that was the hard questions.
Oh, good, good, because it gets a little bit more fun now. This is a portion of the interview where we do
Oh
rapid
gosh.
fire questions. These are this or
Oh
that
man.
questions. They
Oh man.
usually aren't rapid fire because I end up asking a question about it anyway, or there's stories in between. So who
Okay.
knows?
Yep.
But here we go. Starting off easy: hamburger, or hot dogs.
You said easy.
Holy
Uh,
shit!
is cheeseburger an
Yes,
option?
yes. Cheeseburger is an
Cheeseburger.
okay.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
What type of cat?
I have a tuxedo and an orange. I love cats in general. Any type of cat.
There you go. Ice cream or cake?
Oh. Between allergies and being somewhat lactose intolerant, I have to say cake, red velvet cake specifically, but I do love lactose-free cookies and cream.
There you go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
How do you take your coffee?
Sh- Down my throat. No.
What? Okay. So,
uh, no, right now my Dunkin' order right here is 2 cream. It's a large iced coffee, 2 cream, 3 sugar.
there you go, guys. If you want to try his coffee order, you can go to Dunkin'.
It's pretty basic. I'm a basic guy at home. It's breakfast blend with vanilla, French vanilla creamer in it. That's it.
There you go. Pizza or
Easy.
Chinese food?
Pizza.
Your
Oh, pizza definitely.
your go-to pizza topping?
I my go-to, like, if I was getting it what I wanted to get, it's a blaze pizza, like a build your own pizza. It's white sauce. It's You guys are gonna come for me with this one because you're gonna be like, that's gross. It's ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, shredded mozz, and fresh mozz, um, and then bacon, chicken, like grilled chicken, and meatball with barbecue and ranch drizzle on top.
Interesting. Okay. I've been to a Blaze Pizza once. I will say
If
I was not impressed, but that was just
you
my
know, if I order like from Domino's, I'm probably getting like uh the bacon chicken pizza,
makes sense.
whatever. Yeah, chicken
Yeah.
bacon ranch. Yeah, chicken bacon ranch. That's like the go-to for me. But from Blaze, I'm slapping in 5 cheeses and other meats on top of that bad boy too.
Pirates or ninjas?
Pirates,
Early bird or night owl?
night owl for sure.
This one probably doesn't work, but I'll still ask it. World of Warcraft or RuneScape?
If I had to pick one, RuneScape.
There you go. Anime or cartoons?
Ooh, depends.
What? This or
It
that?
depends. Anime.
Ooh, all right. For the anime people, do you have a top 5 anime list that you would like to give here?
I don't have a top. However, like Attack on Titan was great. Um, I've been trying to watch more One Piece. What the hell did I watch recently that was great? Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm a simp for Jujutsu Kaisen. I will simp for it. I need to get more knowledgeable because, like, I mean, I've done like Full Metal, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I've done Naruto OG, not Shippuden yet or anything.
Mhm.
I've done Death Note. Obviously, that was like the first one I watched because it's just so easy to get into for animes and stuff like that. Um, but like, I'm missing a lot. I recently got my Crunchyroll subscription, so like I'm trying to get more into it. The reason I choose anime over cartoons is I feel like anime shows are a lot more adult orientated in the fact that like bloody, gory, swearing,
Mhm.
and recently the reason I like hesitated on the original because I just started watching Invincible on Amazon, and boy, that is an adult cartoon. Let me tell you, punching someone through their head, and you see their eyeballs squirt out the other side. Woo!
There, there.
But
Uh,
overall, yeah, anime. I've definitely, I do love cartoons, like kid cartoons too. But give me like the adult, like crazy. And I'm not saying adult like ooh, like ooh. I'm saying adult like
fair enough. Fair enough. Uh,
gory.
No internet or no cell phone?
No cell phone.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings. Easy. Lord of the Rings. Fuck Harry Potter. Sorry. I'm gonna fight. I'll fight anyone on it. Give me that Lord of the Rings. Give me that. Give me that Andoril tattoo right here. Give me that fresh Aragorn daddy.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Pokemon or Digimon?
Pokemon.
iPhone or Android?
I am an iPhone. However, I have been flirting with the idea to switch because everything else I run is Microsoft and Google, and the only thing that I don't is my phone.
There you go. That is it. You made it through. I know
Oh my god.
those are probably
Whew.
harder than the questions.
I know. I had to think about them more. Oh
Oh
my
man.
gosh.
Well, you
Damn.
made it through the interview and the rapid fire questions. As always, I give you this time now to shout out whatever you want. Of course, all his links that he's mentioned are down below and will be down below to be easily clickable. But this is your time to shine, your time to shout out or say whatever you want. So I'm giving you the floor now.
Oh man. I don't even know. Like, I just shout out to all the friends who've been supporting me. I would name them off, but they would just go. I mean, so I can't really name them all. And I don't want to like name like only like three because then I think other people might feel bad and whatnot. So, but just like the friends who support, the friends who are always there, whether it's stream, whether it's in person, whether it's a text that I'm like, yo, advice, help me out here. What do you think of this? And they'll help me out. Those people, you know, people that, like I said, going back to the support, people that do give the support back or they're there to help you as a friend, not as someone who's looking to like advance or get something out of you or whatever. Shout out to those friends in life. Those are good people. um the genuine people that actually care about the friendship and not just like, what can I do to get something out of you. Like, I've had those people in my life. Fuck those people. So I would never be that type of person. But also shout out to Dunkin' Donuts. You are better than Starbucks. This is not an ad. I'm not sponsored, but I just love you so much, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm from New England. If you cut me, iced coffee will come out.
God. Is that
You
it?
may. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. I don't know what else I'm gonna say. It might get more unhinged. And Voodoo Ranger, my guys, Voodoo Ranger, please sponsor. No, I love you, Voodoo.
All right. Well, it was very sentimental, and then it just went south real quick there with the spot. The background, the
But yeah,
sponsor.
no, literally the friends that are there for you through thick and thin. Family may not always be there for you. You don't really get to choose your family. It just kind of is family. But the friends, if your friend chooses to be your friend and actually genuinely is your friend, shout out to them because that is a good person. They like you for you. There's no blood, there's no nothing. They're there for you as a friend. So I like that. If you're a good friend, then I fuck with you.
There you go. Well, thank you, Riddle, and thank you so much for coming on
No,
the
thank you.
Chalk Talk with Tony. I
Thank you.
I couldn't do it without you, so thank you so much. Once again, the links are down below, and as always, there is a twist right at the end that Riddle does not know about,
Jeez.
but
Oh
it's
God.
okay. If this video gets 10 likes, this is the most likes that I've gotten on a video in quite a long time, you will be able to choose RiddleMeister's new hair color. Is right.
What? Oh my God. That's funny because I actually have to dye my hair right now.
I thought it was fitting. I thought it fit perfectly.
Yeah, I do have to change it up. I hit a sub goal and it was supposed to be green, but the more I looked at green, the more awful it looked, and I don't think it would work for me. So I think I'm gonna be going for like a blue or a purple, but we'll let chat decide that later.
There you go. So, guys, if you hit that like button, if you made it all the way through and hit that like button at 10 likes, we can bring this video back up and maybe we'll go back to back hairstyles for Riddle and pick his hairstyle there for you.
Perfect. Amazing.
But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, guys, see you later.
Thank you. Appreciate it.